Today we're going to talk about 8 things nobody tells you before moving to Australia. This is a must-watch video if you're trying to relocate to Australia, and I bet even if you're in Australia, you can still get a lot of value from this conversation. Getting your visa to Australia does not mean you've arrived, does not automatically guarantee success, and that is why the lessons that I've learned from my own personal journey where I came to Australia, I faced culture shock, career confusion at the onset, and unexpected bills. In this video, I'm going to share all of my learnings, plus in my position as a career coach where I've helped more than 1,000+ people not just settle but to thrive here in Australia. So I'm going to be sharing things that nobody else has ever told you. Let's dive straight in. Now, the first one I want to talk about is Australia is expensive. Yes, I know. You see all the beautiful pictures and people seemingly doing well. Yes, a lot of people can seem like they're doing well, but they're stressed. But the reality is that rent, groceries, childcare, car, transportation, so many things would gulp your money. And that's why if you're coming to Australia, you've got to prepare. For example, in states like Sydney, you may have to pay like $700 per week on rent. Yes, I mean it, like per week. That's even like on the average side. There are people that pay up to $800, $850 per week. Now, groceries, of course, we all know, if you've been watching the news, there's high cost of living in Australia. You may spend more than $150 per week for a small family on groceries alone, and that's not you even indulging. So you've got to plan your finances, you've got to budget and make sure that you don't land broke. You've got to have that at the back of your mind on how you're going to settle in these first few months. Trust me, it's going to get better. Now, the second point is you need to learn how to drive. Basically, if you don't know how to drive, because Australia is geographically wide, which is another point we're going to talk about, getting out and about in some, especially if you live in the regional area or the outer suburbs, you may need to move quickly and you don't want to hail Uber. That may be more expensive. You've got to at least know how to drive, and even when you know how to drive, get your license sorted early. I would say one tip is try to get your license. You can always convert it here, and it allows you to drive at least for like 6 months. Do that, so when you come here, you're just converting. But if you don't have that, you may have to start from like learner, and that's like a journey. It's like you're doing a course, because driving is very important here and they take it seriously. So please make sure you learn how to drive back home, and then you basically have your license. It will really give you an advantage. The next one is, again, similar to what I'm just talking about. Study the road rules. Australia don't play with fines. There's speeding fine, there's drink driving fine, there's not wearing seatbelt. Here, the cameras are in different location on the road. For example, you're pressing your phone while driving in Australia. Some states you may pay up to 1,200. Now, I've seen fines as high as that. I've gotten fines for overspeeding, and when I say overspeeding, just a few kilometers. I was doing 67 in a 60 road, and I got a fine, and I had to pay $325. Sometime my family and I, we went to watch Nigerian football match, and we kind of like found a street. We parked our car. We came back to be one huge fine. Pro tip: councils are responsible for keeping the community safe and maintaining the road, cleaning and make sure things are working well. They already gave us fine, and they use this money as like, the fine is also like how they generate revenue. Please make sure that you know the road rules and the laws. Very important. This is not an environment where you do anyhow. You see anyhow quickly. Other key thing is, when you come from the airport, or even maybe as you're preparing to come here, some of your network here may start to tell you, hey, well, the way to survive here is just to do some type of work, like especially support work, disability work, factory work, and those type of roles. And maybe you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you have your career going on there. I would say, please, yes, in the immediate, depending on type of visa that you're coming into the country with, that may be your stepping stone. But you will quickly see that a lot of people you find would be doing those type of jobs. But my hope is that you understand that you can still get your career going here, especially if you have strategy, if you have mindset of learning, and you want to grow. You don't want to throw that away, because I've seen thousands of people who got that advice, like, you can't get a professional job here in Australia. And we are trying to break that mindset that, hey, there's so much more, and we've been able to help more than 1,000 plus people upskill, train, and many of them are working amazing jobs. Some of them have started businesses. We are just creating the path, the light that please, we don't want you to start to come into jobs where you get frustrated. To the next point, this is a rule-based society. You need to respect it, right? From tax to Centrelink to Medicare, there's a system for everything. For the road as well, I mentioned, like how you book your GP, how you shop, how you stay on queue, and even if you're hosting party, you need to make sure that you're not affecting the peace and quiet of your neighbor, else they're going to call the police on you. Respect people, make sure you follow the rules, and the good thing is that there's checkmate for everything literally here. So if you don't follow the rules, you're going to incur fine or the wrath of your neighbors and people around you. The next point I'm going to talk about is the cost of childcare. This one shocked me, especially when we had our little one. As somebody that does not currently have a PR, no subsidy, just expect to pay anywhere between $100 to $80 per day per child. I remember like first 1 year we didn't have to take our child to childcare because myself and my wife, we literally work from home, so we were really bonding. And it was until maybe it was 1 year and 7 months when we also didn't have the help of our grandma. We're like, okay, let's go, and we did register, and it would go 3 or 4 times a week. But immediately you start to pay. We were paying $155 per day, so you can imagine it was even more than our rent because we live in the regional area. It's like, wow, we need to reduce this because it can quickly stack up. You pay thousands of dollars in a month just to take your child maybe 3 to 4 times a day. And even if you have PR, I realize that there is means tested. They test it based on your income, so there's a threshold as well. If you are regarded as high income and maybe you're earning like 120, 130,000 or 180,000, the number, the subsidy they give you is very like low, so you have to pay like 120, 130 per day, which is a lot. At least for me, having children is also a financial decision. The next point, rent. This one actually took me time to really adjust because when myself and my wife, when we moved from the UK and we're trying to get a house, at that time I think we were paying like $450. I was a bit nervous because like for me, Naira mentality to like now paying $450 per week for a 3-bedroom apartment. I was like, other comparative rental that fits what we wanted was like even more. That's why you see that people, they work a lot because hey, we pay like $2,400 per month, $600 per week, depending on where you're staying. And some people actually pay more. Some people pay up to $3,000 per month, people that are renting. And let's talk about mortgage. People that feel like, oh, once I have mortgage, I've arrived. So maybe they go for housewarming, they see the amazing house that maybe their friends that have been here for like 10 years or 5 years and have settled really well into the system have. And they want to compete as well. At the end of the day, it's not really about that. Remember, mortgage is you borrowing money to buy a house, and don't think that mortgage is an investment for you, especially when you're living primarily in that house. Getting the best house, mansion, like to fit it with all the things that makes you happy. It's good, but always check your finances. Make sure that you can truly afford it, because psychologically, you may be able to afford it because you're working maybe 60 hours per week. But think about even long term, in next 4 years, 5 years, will you still be able to keep up with the pace of working that much, right? What happens if, okay, you're basing that decision on 2-income household? Maybe your wife now cannot work, or the husband cannot work for whatever reason. Maybe you have a child now and you've reduced your shift or your work load, or your salary reduces, or somebody gets laid off. So many things happens in life. You've got to really consider a lot of things and make sure that you're buying a house not just for your emotions, but based on what you can sustainably afford. Don't buy based on emotion. You want fancy kitchen, swimming pool, this, that, 5-bedroom, this and that, and then you're now in mortgage stress. If they increase the interest rate, you've got to work more and your disposable income reduces. Please understand that there are other things that you can do with your money. Renting is not bad. Trust me, this is me that I was feeling like, oh, I'm missing out in the housing market because I'm not actually, mortgage. For me, initially, it was because I was on a bridging visa and buying a house on a 491 visa, but was super expensive because of other considerations like FRB charges, double stamp duty, so many things involved. I was feeling like beat down until I educated myself a bit more. Buying that primary place of residence is not necessarily the goal for you. Learn more about the real estate industry and you can see that, oh, actually maybe you can invest, maybe you can make sure that you're buying a house that you can build equity, and then you can the equity and do more investment property in the long run. Please, your finances is very important. Your Australian story does not have to be filled with regret. Now, I speak to so many people in the line of work that I do as a coach and mentor, and they're like, oh, kind of like, had a better life in Nigeria. Nigeria was more fun for me. I wasn't constantly under pressure because I have community, I have support, I have family, I enjoy life. Some of the reasons why people are stressed is because, yes, you can make more money, but this country pays you. Most jobs is structured around paying you for your time, and you have to possibly try to be more strategic so you can shift away from being paid for your time, but rather being paid for the value that you create, which is my message to people, especially African immigrants. I want you to know that you can secure a high-paying job where you work less, where you don't go from shift to shift from exhaustion and you're just burnt out. If you want to know the system that we use to help people to change their life, learning skills that have changed their life and allow them earn 130k, 140k without stress, without missing out on important moment, public holiday, weekend, not sleeping at night, then check the link in the description below to learn more about how we've supported thousands of people so far in Australia and across the world. And thank you so much for watching. You know what to do. Please encourage us, share, like, comment, let me know your thoughts about what you think about this video or any other thought and any other video ideas or questions you have, and I'll see you in the next one.